Morning traders, just sipping on a coffee. I wanted to create a quick video to let you know, give you an update as to what I've been doing in regards to searching for the right sort of brokers. Thank you for all of you that have watched this video and responded to it. I've got over 100 comments now. There's a fair few of you from the United States asking me about reasons as to why some of the brokers are not accepting you. There's a whole heap of Indians on the list as well. Guys, there are some issues with how you can trade. I'm going to address that shortly. I'm going to show you a few things as to what you should be looking for as well with the brokers that you're with right now. Certainly research them. I'm going to talk a little bit about diversification as well. And a number of you have been asking me about what my Australian brokers are, the ones that I trade with. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I haven't been telling you guys outright who they are. Certainly, I've been sharing some of that with the Aussies, but I'm going to show you also why they're not going to work for you if you're outside of Australia. Okay, so first and foremost. In regards to your brokerages, a lot of the ones out there, especially the ones that are registered by SISEC, the main issue that I have with that is, sure, you can be told that a broker is registered or regulated by SISEC. The question that you really need to ask yourself is, do you have any degree of recourse from the broker if something goes wrong? What is a complaints process that you're going to follow? Are you able to contact the ombudsman where the broker is regulated, and will they hear you out? Will they take on your complaint and do something about it? In most instances, they won't. Okay. This is part of the reason why I'm saying to you guys that my Aussie brokers here won't do a damn thing about you guys or for you guys if you are located outside of Australia. You're not an Australian resident or a citizen. And the reason for that is that the regulations, the jurisdiction that they have only extends out to Australians, or for SISEC, it probably will be limited to how far they can go. In most instances, I've heard so many stories of them not giving a damn. Here's the other problem with SISEC. What you're looking at on the screen right now is a little bit of information about the EEA legislation in Europe. Okay, so that basically means European Economic Area. Now, any country that is a signatory to this, and for all of you in the UK, you guys are at the present moment, and I believe you do have a vote coming up at the next election. You guys are going to decide whether or not you still want to be a part of this. Okay. Now here's the catch with something like this. Say for instance, a broker goes ahead and does whatever they need to get or become regulated by SISEC, right? What then they are able to do is come out to the UK and market to you guys and say, we're a regulated broker, and so you're safe trading with us. The other issue with this is to say that, and I've seen so many of these, a lot of people have contacted me, messaged me through Facebook as well, and they've said, hey Shiva, I'm having some trouble with this broker. These guys are regulated by the FCA in the UK. And quickly have a look, and I'd say, mate, I'm sorry, you guys are not regulated by the FCA in there. The broker is registered by the FCA, and that can be an issue because of this EEA legislation in Europe. It gives them the ability to be registered with the FCA, but the FCA doesn't regulate that broker. So that means that they won't have a procedure that's been outlined by the FCA for you to follow through, or for them to adhere to in relation to complaints or issues that you would have with the broker. So be very, very clear, please, when you're looking and researching your brokers, making sure that it's not just simply a registration, because the registration process is extremely simple. They will accept it if another regulator like SISEC somewhere in Europe has already regulated these guys. But regulation is a completely different story. From my experience here in Australia, when ASIC goes towards registering, regulating a company or a financial services company or issuing a financial services license, there are massive hoops that these guys want you to jump through, and it's an expensive process as well. It many months is taken in. A lot of declarations are done. They've got a guarantee where it's like trust accounts where the money will be held. And here are issues that you guys really need to not only know, but the research has to be done to ensure that all of those issues have been looked at by a regulator and even the broker, that they're adhering to something like that. The purpose of your regulator really is there to ensure that these brokerages, they follow the rule of the law and that you guys are protected. So it's almost like saying, they will make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into before you get yourself into it, right? In Australia, we have one of the toughest regulators out there. So for this purpose, there's a lot of financial products that's not offered here in Australia, simply because some of the providers wouldn't want to go through registering their products and their PDSs here with the Australian regulator. So I mean, that's why I feel much safer in being able to trade with some of my brokers, right? So be aware of this EEA legislation in Europe. This means that any broker that registers there is regulated by, say, one agency like SISEC, which to me means very little. They can then move forward and be able to register and offer their services to any other country that's within the European Economic Area. Okay, so be mindful of that. How you would look at it is, where are we? Okay, no, that's where we were. How you'd look at it is if you jump onto any brokerage page, scroll down, and come back down to the bottom area to see where the legals are stated. Once you see those legals, go through them. Here in Australia, we've got what's called a financial services guide. You guys in the UK possibly have this as well. I'm not sure about the rest of Europe, and I'm not sure about the United States, but this is what I tend to look for. Remember with the Cherry Trade video that I did, this is what I asked them for. Any reputable broker, anyone that's really worth their grain of salt, they will have all of this done, because most regulators all around the world will expect this of them, right? This is what you need to go through. You need to look at who the service provider is, what their registered business name is, if the business is or the company is registered in your country. So for us in Australia, here's the ACN. We look to see, here's the Australian Financial Services license. We look to see who's holding the license. We look to see what the license number is, and then we'll jump onto the ASIC website and then research that number, because hey, anyone can put any number up and we'll say, hey, yes, they've got a license, but you won't know until you go on there and check. Compliance, extremely important. This is what you need to be asking them about as well. Do they have professional indemnity insurance? Almost all regulators that are good are going to require that any service provider, financial speaking, would have professional indemnity insurance. Now, advisors here in Australia are covered by their licensee. So they'd hold something like between 20 to 50 million worth of cover. Okay, extremely important. If they don't have this, means they're not compliant, and which also means that chances are, if something goes wrong, you're not covered. And also, if I don't see this anywhere, especially for forex brokers around the world, something's desperately wrong. So I will walk away from that. I wouldn't be paying any attention to that. The other thing that you're looking for, dispute resolution processes. Okay, you need phone numbers, email addresses of the Financial Services Ombudsman. If your broker doesn't already have this, chances are these guys are already they're running somewhat of a Ponzi scheme. Okay, Ponzi scheme basically means where it's not a legitimate business. They're going to steal from Peter to pay Tom. Okay, so it means as long as there's a continual supply of other traders coming in who are going to provide these guys with money, That's the only way they're going to be able to pay you. And this is primarily the reason why, with a lot of the European brokers that are, like, registered with CySAC and otherwise, where these guys, the account managers, are so pushy, because what they're trying to do is get a continual supply of money coming in, and they'll promise you the world, then they'll take a whole heap of trades on your behalf, lose your cash, because that's the money that they need in order to make sure that the business continually runs. What I'm looking at is brokers that actually have that are not only regulated, but their business model also ensures that all their trades are leveraged in the real markets. A lot of forex brokers will actually have this ability as well, the good ones. There are forex brokers that also just trade in-house like Ponzi schemes, but a lot of them that are properly regulated in countries, what you're going to find is that these guys will have the ability to leverage into the real markets, have cash coming in, and so that is how they're going to be able to pay you, right? Some of the forex brokers that do offer binary options as well, one of the key things that I'm looking at is their service desks, where the account managers aren't segregated. So it's not like where they have binary options account managers and then forex account managers. I want them all doing the same job. Why? Because these are financial professionals that are in place. They're not salespeople that you would find is the case with normal binary options brokers. So that's one thing. Be mindful about EEA. See, EQ options, someone asked me about this. I jump to the bottom of this. I'm looking at the business models. I'm looking at regulations. I don't see a financial services guide or any sort of like a complaints resolution process. I click on the regulations. I see this. No licensing numbers that are proper. For me, this is a concern. So initially, I would look at this. This won't even meet my initial criteria. I will come back and I will create videos about the more commonly known binary options brokers soon. But see, this is what you guys want to be looking at. Now, in regards to my American friends that are trading, here's a broker out in Latvia. These guys, what I wanted to pay or draw your attention to is this bit here, when they've got information on the bottom of their sites that refers to US residents. Before I click onto that and have a more in-depth look at it, for those of you that have been asking me, Shiva, why do my brokers require me to send in copies of my credit card details or my identification and then signed documentation? This is the reason why. This is the AML policy, is the anti-money laundering policy. It requires, they want to know whether or not the person that they're dealing with is a legit person. Sure, anyone can fake all of this, but they want to be able to say that when you're depositing the money, you're the person in charge of the cash, the account, and then when you're able to withdraw back, that money is coming back to you, and so then your regulator or your taxation entity in your country will be able to monitor the flow of that. Otherwise, there's a lot of black money flying around all over the world, and imagine how easy it would be to take drug money and then put it through something like this and then pull it out on the other end and have it go somewhere else. For that reason, these guys, it's required by legislation almost everywhere around the world that they have an anti-money laundering policy. So that's why they're doing it. We're clicking into why the United States citizens aren't able to trade with most of the brokers. Now for you guys, I am looking in particular towards a lot of Forex related brokers that will allow you to trade binary options on their platforms. This is going to be one way of diversifying your investment portfolios. Okay, so in relation to Nadex, that's one thing. Yes, you're going to do a little bit of Forex as well, but I'm also going to then search out really nice Forex brokers that are regulated, that are also offering binary options products. Now, having said that, guys, not all regulators at this stage, unlike ASIC here, are actually regulating binary options products. For example, in the UK, FCA hasn't gotten to the point of regulating the products yet. binary options ones. They are now, the good news is, last year they did actually take steps towards entering that and accepting binary options products as a financial product. And so the government actually is in the process of looking at legislation to allow the FCA to regulate BO. So that's fantastic news, and it's great news for the industry. That means a lot of these fake brokers, they'll be put out of business. It also means that a lot of good, reputable brokers will actually have the ability to come into it. Now, having said that, I know there are people trying to flog or bootleg a lot of brokers out there that they're saying, hey, this is regulated by the FCA. It's not. It's possibly registered by the FCA, but it's not regulated as yet. If they have FCA regulation, that would mean that they are able to trade other derivatives. They probably have a Forex license or something along those lines. Just be entirely careful that that these guys are not regulated. So if someone says that, be aware of that. But also know that there's a potentiality of them being decent, because FCA will come into regulation of BO soon enough. So that would mean they wouldn't want to stuff around with their current clients in order to get into trouble with the regulator and have issues with their licenses. Okay, so have a read of this. They will explain to you the reason why they're not able to offer you anything within the jurisdiction, because it's legally not allowed in the United States. Okay, so here's the issue. But I am looking for products and services that will allow you to do that. Okay, so more in-depth information will come along once I have shortlisted the US brokers, and I'll give you more in-depth information in regards to the individual brokers themselves. Now, going into for my Indian clients, or Indian traders, I should say, guys. Many of you are possibly unaware as to Forex or Forex trading being illegal in India. Okay, yes, there are people trading them offshore, but yes, you can also get into a lot of trouble with it. The present legislation in India does not say anything about binary options. I think it's relatively new. Something along those lines will come along, but I wouldn't be surprised if they will extend the Forex laws and just say, well, that includes anything that has to do with currency. So be aware of that. A lot of you have written and said to me, hey, we've got no problems with it. You will have problems with it, because the Federal Reserve for you guys, the Reserve Bank of India, has taken note of some of this stuff, and they've informed all your banks. So here's ways that you could possibly get around it. Again, this is not advice, so please, any of the Indian authorities that are listening to me right now, they don't want to get in trouble. But what's going on is that the banks, if they see that you have, and if they're monitoring and they see that you have remitted money over to India, to a Forex trader, or any financial brokerage, whether it's in India or outside of India, which has to do with currencies in particular, then they will report that to the government, or whoever your regulator is, or even to the Reserve Bank. You can get into a lot of trouble that way. Again, as I've said, binary options has not been specifically mentioned at this stage. If I were you, I most likely would not risk it. So one way around it is to say, if you were to trade either with Forex or binary options in India, how you would do it is via those third-party payment processors like Ucash or PayPal, or one of those ones. Again, a lot of brokers that do offer stuff like that, I'd be slightly wary and do more research, because sometimes, you know, they could just turn out to be a Ponzi scheme, or something along those lines. I am researching more in depth to see what I can do for you guys to have more of like a solid way of doing trading. Yes, there's going to be legal ways around the present legislation, so be careful. Treat this like a business, all right? You're not gonna jump into it and say, yeah, look, we'll just trade and see. This has got to be a business, and that's why this approach is extremely important. Going back to the Australian stuff, what I wanted to also draw your attention to, some of you have asked me, Shiva, just give me your broker and we'll play with that. I know one person's been extremely persistent with with me in on Facebook. Guys, it's extremely important you start paying attention to some of this stuff. Somewhere on here, where am I? Frequent FAQs. Somewhere on here it does clearly specify that the coverage for you guys is not available simply because the regulator has stated that this only exists, or the jurisdiction for them is only for Australians. So, you know, if you don't actually have those, the recourse, what am I looking for? Losing words here. If you don't actually have the protections that have been put in place by the regulator for you with this broker, it doesn't matter if I'm trading with the broker and that I have those protections, because you can't complain towards the regulator or the Financial Services Ombudsman here. So for that reason, it really does not benefit you at all. And I can guarantee you this, any brokerage that I tell you about, or any brokerage that you've dealt with, you go onto the likes of Google and you type in their name and you're researching whether they've scammed someone, you're always going to find someone. You're always going to find someone that's disgruntled, and you know, they've either had a run-in with the account managers, or they've accepted a bonus, or insured trades, or something along those lines, and they would have had a really bad experience. So just be mindful of all of that. Okay, I don't want to make this video too long, but here's what I'm thinking along. I've got my criteria set. Right now I have something close to about 30 brokers that have been shortlisted. You'd be surprised, many of them on my shortlist are not brokers that you're possibly familiar with. You know, so the likes of the likes of Bank to Binary and IQ Options and StockPair and all of them, they are not in my primary list. I will actually do some analysis on them for you guys later on, because I know many of you do have them. These are some of the ones that I'm saying are part of my 11 that that I don't trade massive with, because it's the recourse isn't really available to me. It's simply as just saying, for example, some of you have followed through with Big Option that you've seen in one of my videos. Big Option is a broker that I hardly use unless I'm doing I want to do live demoing. So I've got money in there. I want to do live demoing because they are one that's going to offer you a lot of trouble. So I will do that sort of research for you guys, and let you know in regards to how to trade them. Okay, so I will switch off there. But sure, look, if you have any more questions in regards to your stuff, certainly message me, email me, or comment below. But that's where I'm at. I have written to a number of the brokers. I'm trying to get more information out of them. I'm trying to also gauge how friendly they are, account managers wise, because the last thing I would want is for me to recommend someone and you jump on the phone with them, or you sign up with them and these people are treating you badly. So we're trying to figure all of that out as well before I go ahead and recommend stuff. So look, if you guys want to help me along, certainly research your own brokers. Make sure that they all kind of meet a grade that you're sufficient with. And this, what I'm suggesting for you to do with the brokers, I'd like for you to apply that to everything that you do in life. Whether you're buying a product to consume, food, when you go to the grocery shop. Don't trust anyone outrightly. You know, just don't say, hey, I've got a big shopping center, supermarket, Coles, Woolies, or whatever it is, that, you know, everyone's going to be top notch. No one on this planet is ever top notch. So you've got to look after yourself. So ask questions, do some research, jump online. You will always find the right answers. Okay. If anything, is what I'm trying to promote on this channel is not financial strategies. What I'm trying to promote is freedom of thought. I'd like you guys to take what I'm saying and what I'm doing and then apply it to your own lives and say, yep, I want to be completely free. No government in the world, no brokers, no financial institutions, no other person in this world is going to tell me what to do. For example, I had a bit of a run-in on Facebook with someone earlier about a particular broker. When he was bootlegging this broker. So he was asking, he put something up and he was asking people to PM him so he could give them the referral affiliate link. But from what he had actually posted, I looked at it and I said, hey, hold on a second, this seems too good to be true. If they've given you such an amazing sell rate, what that means is then there's something not right. How are they going to be able to sustain themselves? Because we could literally bankrupt this broker. And his response was, "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing," or I've done my research and stuff. Yeah, that's all good and well. There's a lot of people that just followed him into it. Now, what I'm suggesting to you guys, when you hear people say this, like for example, what I'm doing, yes, I'm doing a lot of research behind these brokerages, but it doesn't mean that when I do the shortlist that I want you guys to just jump in and say, hey, Shiva's already done it. No, I want you to look at that shortlist, look at the brokers, and I will try and break in videos, break them into countries so I can give you more information there. But I'd like for you to then jump onto their sites, give them a call, email them, whatever, scan their sites to see if you can see the things that I suggested. Also, on top of that, jump back onto Google, do more research and say, hey, okay, do I see any issues that are any massive red flags that Shiva might have missed? Because that's the only way of doing it. I won't take responsibility for your sign up. So you've got to make sure, don't just openly trust anyone, especially your brokers, especially your account managers. And if you guys are going to jump the gun and sign up with brokers before I do my shortlist, certainly guys, make sure no bonuses, no insured trades. Think about it this way. I've heard a lot of people say, Shiva, I kind of fell into the trap of what the account managers were saying, and they said to me, if you put $5,000 down now in this trade, or $5,000 or $10,000 into your account, I'm going to be able to make you $20,000 back every month. The question that you need to ask not only yourself and also them, say, hey mate, tell me this, if you're such a great trader and you can make $20,000 a month, and you would do it for me, and I'm sure that you're telling other clients of yours as well that you can do it for them. So say for instance they've got 5 other clients, and they're going to make each one about $20,000 a month. Here's the question: if they are that good, would they not be at home or somewhere on the beach with their laptop making themselves like 20 to 50 grand or 100 grand a month? Why are they actually in an office somewhere trying to con good, honest people out of their hard-earned money by working for someone? It's something that I can never understand. I see accountants and advisors all of the time that promise you the world, and I sit back and I wonder, well, if you are so good, why are you working? Why are you, especially working for someone else? If you've got your own business, okay, I understand that. Why are you working for someone else? Why are you relying on commissions? One account broker that I had an argument with, he just came back to me and he said, I said, mate, why are you promising me like 100K in like every 3-4 months? Why don't you make $100,000 a year for yourself and not have to work? And he goes, that's not possible. That's an account manager saying he can't make $100,000 himself a year from trading. And here's a person that's trying to convince me that I should give my money over to him, so for him to trade for me. Ask these questions, and the old rule: if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I'll finish off with what I say in regards to when people ask me, Shiva, how do I not lose any trades? I simply say, don't take losing trades. It's the same thing with, Shiva, how do I not get conned? Mate, draw back the amount of transactions you're doing out there with people that you just simply cannot trust. Look at yourself. Can you trust yourself? If you can, find other people like yourself that you can trust. Don't deal with complete strangers. And one thing that I've learned from experience in this world, everyone talks. Everyone is able to talk, all right? Very few people are able to do. Keep that in mind. So with that note, man, I'm guys, I'm going to switch this off. I don't know how long I've been talking for, But the videos and the short lists will be coming soon. Please don't get conned.